Good morning YouTube and the internet. Today is a bit of a change up. I'm going to be working on the Falcon. The reason I'm working on the Falcon today is this. Door won't shut. Now, I've got two doors where I have a problem. This one shuts just fine, but for many months now it hasn't been able to lock, and that's a pretty typical common failure on these things, and it requires the replacement of the latch mechanism, or you can rebuild or refurbish the latch mechanism and actuator mechanism for the central locking using a $10 kit off eBay. I hadn't bothered getting around to buying it, and now this has happened. And I need to get the car out, and I need to drive it. So, yeah, I got pinned into a corner where I had to go and buy the full latch mechanisms, and I couldn't refurb the ones I got because I got to get it done today while it's on the weekend, and so I can free up the Corolla for my son next week. So I will be replacing this mechanism and this one. Now what I did do is I bought four. I found a dude wrecking a BA Falcon, bought all four for $100. Wreckers wanted $80 per unit. The first guy I was going to buy them off wanted $80 for a pair. He was a lovely fellow. Told me I was a fuckface, and I said, actually, I found some cheaper, I'm not coming. But yeah, all good. Let's grab these out and show you how to do it. So there's the four second-hand ones out of a car being wrecked I got. You will note they've got a white plug on them. And just very quickly, in my very, very brief amount of research looking at aftermarket ones that do get sold on the internet that are pretty cheap, there's a description there saying if it's got a white plug, you need one type, and if it's got a black plug, you need a different type. And it seems as though the white plug is the same unit from the AU to the early BAs, and then from the later BAs they changed and that unit ran over into the BF Falcon. I haven't had anything to confirm that, and if these were the wrong ones, then I was just going to cut the plug and wire in the other plug if that was required. These have got a white plug. I'm assuming mine's going to have a white plug because it's 2003 BA. It's almost as early as you get. But yeah, let's get this out. Oh, I also didn't pay any attention to which one came out of which door, so there'll be a bit of trial and error later. Now, to get this out, we've got to pop out this panel. We're going to remove the door skin. So the one back here behind the door handle, screw there. I know there's a couple in here. There's obviously a couple down here. I'll see what else I can find. Voila. One, two bolts. They're quite deep. Good thing I got extensions. Now, if this was a nicer car, I'd recommend using an actual trim removal tool. But this is a dirty old Falcon. Not too bothered. But if you care about yours, then I recommend getting the cheap trim removal tool kit, which I do own. I don't know where it is. 1, 2, 3, and oh, that's just a screw actually. And there. I thought that was going to be a bolt. And this one. Looks like the screwdriver's not long enough. No. Alright, I'll go get another one. And that should be the last of the screws holding it in. Should just be clips and plugs from here on out. Oops. I wanted to throw the screw, not the screwdriver. Okay, looks like they don't want to pop out. Now, there will be some trigger around this switch here, I'm sure. Maybe we can just pull it off and unplug it from the back, but for the time being, Just start pulling this away and see where we go. Aha! Another screw. Better have a closer inspection of the rest. There's one there. That feels a bit more promising. Put my hand under there. I reckon should come off now. Run my ow! Okay, I'm sorry if that's not the best angle in the world, but I need two hands. So it just pulls out with the release of that screw. You pull this out, pop that cable out. Simple as that. Pop that in your tray, which is my footwell in my case. I'm just trying to feel where the clips might be. I feel like this is where finding those trim remover screws might come in here. There we go. Just come out. One there. Sounds like that one broke. Voila. I think we're free enough to push up. No. See all the way through the door. That'll be it. Just had to come out of the top two. Alright, a plug on the window controls. Simple. I hope you can see that. Now we've got this crap here. This just a piece of foam. Left hand PUR goes up that way. Got me fucked what it's for. Sound deadening. Not sure. We're just going to peel this back as far as we need, because it looks like it might be a bitch to get back on, get it to stay there. So we'll just do that. And we head down here, our mechanism, which is our 3 bolts. Now what we're going to do real quick is wind the window up so the glass isn't in the way. It gives me more room to jiggle stuff. So we've got 3 hex bits here. Now you'll see, demonstrate to hear what happens. So this is mechanical failure of the latch, obviously. So it just keeps springing back. One, two, three. This is a T30 torque. Leave the top one in there for it to hang loosely off while I get these other 2 out. Again, not the best angle, but this is a 2-hand operation. Undo that last top screw, bolt, and we're free. But there's still a plug on here, down inside here. So I've got to undo this one. Oh, also the lever's got to come out of here. The door handle. Alright, let's get it off the door latch mechanism first. So you can see the door latch mechanism there. This just needs to be flicked off like that. Up and out of the way. That'll pull straight out. A pair of pliers would be a much better option for this. Done. Now I can get full access to the plug. Nope. And there's our mechanism. Total and utter failure. So these are left and rights as well. So the first two I grabbed were obviously wrong. This is the one I pulled out. This is obviously its mate here. This one has come out of the back. I can tell by the short arm. This one has come out of the front. I can tell by the fact the arm is the same length. They come out of there. So that's the one we're going to be putting in. Before we do, I'll give it a quick test. Latches, undoes. Latches, undoes. Lovely. So it's all obviously going to be installation is reverse of removal. Looks very good. Now the reconditioning kits actually have you diving into here. This plastic bit with the motor and gears in it, that's what it fixes. That would not have fixed my problem. There's obviously a mechanical failure inside this unit somewhere. Don't know what caused it, but it can't fuck, so yeah, it's no good. So it definitely needed replacing anyway. But I could have been able to fix the back door problem that I've had for months with the rebuild kits. Now, which way did it go? Obviously the bolt hole's got to go towards the bolt holes. The cable's got to go towards the thingy. Yep. Let's just get one bolt in there. These do have Loctite on them from factory. I'm not going to bother replacing them. The Loctite, it's the lowest grade of Loctite anyway. It's just yeah, kind of pointless. If you want to do it though, you've been informed. The Loctite is an option on those. The blue one, low strength stuff. So let's pop our arm back in our door handle. This is a field job. There it is. Snap our little thing back over the top, just like I showed you before when I undid it. Clip our plug back in place. Do up your screws. And just pull it up gently, one screw at a time. Don't do them up really tight because it needs to sort of self-center. And it will, but if you do one up really tight, you might get it stuck in a position where it shouldn't be, and then it won't move and relieve itself into its correct location. So, another quick test. Door's open, hits the striker, it's locked, latched. Yep, door handle works. Don't know what that. Oh, that's the inside door handle. So let's just test that as well. So, door closes, pull the inside door handle, it opens. So we will have a functioning latching door. Does the central locking work on it? I don't know. It's trying to work. Let's pop this. I reckon that probably came through the top hole. Let's pop this up here, approximately, and out of the way. How's this go? Just sort of sits there, doesn't it? Window goes up and down. Oh, ignition's off. Let's try closing the door and opening it and see if the central locking. Now I know the central locking won't work on the back door, but it would work on the rest previously. So let's see if that'll close and not fall off. So that shouldn't have locked. Lovely. So now let's try locking the door. This door locks. Doesn't sound like the central locking is doing anything. No, it is locked. Now there's a button in here for the doors. Now the reason it's clicking twice is because the back door is not locking and it's freaking out. but that should have unlocked the passenger door. Voila! So, everything working as it should. We just put the skin back on, the door card, and we're done. And I've fixed this door. Now this one still won't lock. So, I'll be repeating the process back here. After I put the door skin back on that one, I'll have all 4 doors locking again. Just like it should. So I've got a child lock mechanism here too. I have to make sure I get the right one. It can only be this one. And there it is. I think. Yep. That little black arm there. So let me get this door card back on, and then I'll very quickly do the back one to show you where the screws are, and that the process is pretty much exactly the same. I didn't know where all the screws and everything were. They weren't hard to find. I didn't even break anything. As it turns out, I thought I broke a clip, but I didn't. It was fine. It popped out. Alright, let's get this on. So, without filming, I was able to replace this one in about 4 minutes flat. Screw locations are all relative to the shape of the door in the same places. 2 at the bottom. This one's a bit harder to see when the trim's on. 1 there. There's a 2 in the handle. There's 1 in the door handle itself. 1 at the front. 1 at the back. That's it. So now let's see if that works. Well, it's locked. If we unlock it, it's still locked. Is it because this door's open? That door's open over there. I may have the opposite problem where it won't unlock now. It's a better problem of it not locking. Let's see what happens when I use the key to unlock the doors. Where is the key? Oh, it's on the passenger seat. Okay, so we're going to lock the car. Locked. 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 Excellent. It locks. Now can I unlock it? Now obviously these have a key fob. Don't know where mine is. Key in the door does the same job effectively. So that will, well, the button in there does the same job. That should only unlock the front door, I think. Yep. Now what we'll do is pop the keys in the ignition, make sure we've got power to everything, and press the button and see. Back door's unlocked. I'll leave the key in there and this door ajar. My concern is I'll accidentally lock the car and won't be able to unlock it with the keys in it. So this one was working before. This one doesn't unlock. Ah, shit. Snap. Or maybe I didn't put the latch on properly. Let's try pulling the cable. So I must not have hooked the latch up properly at the top. I mean, it's definitely pulling it. Interesting. Interesting. Screwdriver. Latch. This should not unlock it because that's the child lock. Ooh. That seems to have jammed it. Interesting. Alright, let's have a look in here. Let's unlatch this. Okay, Okay, that does work. Doesn't work by pulling the handle, but it works by operating the mechanism itself. Pulling that down. This just doesn't pull it far enough. Interesting. Maybe there's an adjustment somewhere, but the central locking is working. It's the actual mechanism on the door that's not pulling properly. And I can't take the child lock off now that I put it on. It's disappointing, so I'd really like the back doors to be operable from the inside. I might pop this back out now, have a bit of a play with it, see if I've got something a little bit skew-if, and then fix it. But yeah, it's a pretty simple job. If there is something really easy to get wrong here and I have the solution, I'll let you know what it is. This is a second-hand unit. Maybe it doesn't work as well as it's supposed to. It's entirely possible that the one I bought out of a car being wrecked is not functioning as required. So we'll see, but the mechanism itself does work. It's just the length of that lever or the amount the handle pulls up. One of those two is not right. It is a bit of a shitty assembly in there to get everything up in that corner. So there's also the chance that I've put it in wrong. So I'll have a look at the spare one that I took out. So another handle is working on that, make sure those rods are the same length. This one. And other simple things to see if that's the problem. As I suspected, something simple and stupid. That arm, which I can't show you because the latch, the thing with the blue thing and the yellow thing on the other one, they're different lengths. They operate the mechanical door latch, the exterior one. So I need to pull that one off there, put that one on there, we should be good. Why are they different lengths? I don't know. BA, BF, AU differences, parts bins usage, who knows. But it was an 04 BA that these come out of. Anyway, doesn't really matter. I'll replace that little arm with the one, this one here. Now I do know they come off because that one fell off over there without any real effort, so I should be able to pop them out and pop them in without any real drama. That literally took 2 seconds. They just effectively roll out like that. But when they're in position, they're at 90 to that, so they can't slip out. Let's pop it back in, and I reckon I'll have a functioning door. Now this child lock though, so we'll play with that. So the child lock mechanism is just sort of like a cam over thing, and it's a bit sticky, but I freed it up. Now it works. I think if I tried to open the door with the load on it, it would jam it again, so I'll just not use it. But for now, that works. And when you pull the handle, that's fine. And when you pull this one, that's fine. All it is a physical latch. When you latch it, it does nothing. And that works. Alright, switch works. Too easy. Let's put it in. Shitty as an angle as I reckon that probably is, I figured I'd at least give it a go at filming. So we want this facing down when we insert it, otherwise you won't be able to get it into the door handle. I figured that out the hard way. We push this down to the bottom of where it can go. Get it in against the back of the door and slide it up the back. That's the easiest way I found. And then, just like the front one, pop the screw in. That's all sort of unnecessary in the front because there's a lot more room because of the shape of the door. So the top screw in finger tight. We find our little arm, the wrong length on the other mechanism. There it is. And it should be resting somewhere near. Now, the confusing thing is that there's a hole at the top of the mechanism. That's not the one you want. It's the lower one, which is what you would have pulled it out of, but because you probably didn't look at it while you're doing it and did it by feel, you lose your reference point. So it's down the bottom at the back of the latch, as in towards the back of the door, and it slips straight in. Little clip, exactly like the front door, locks it in place. Do up your bolts, give it another test. That's literally how long that takes to install. So now we test. Voila. Check the inside one by pulling the cable. Easy peasy. So that should be it. And I do know the central locking was working. Actually, do I? I don't. Because I never tried to unlock it with the inside one. Alright, have to test that. So I'm halfway through all the same tests I did before. I locked it with a key. All 4 doors were locked. I'll open that with the key, press the button to release the central locking. The rear left door opens. This door opens. This door opens. Job done. Just got to slam the trim back on. Sitting right here. Yeah, pretty quick, easy, simple job, and it's an annoying thing that they seem to be a common failure, but definitely an easy enough fix. Now the new items, sort of the replacement ones that you can buy online, are between 40 and 80 bucks new. If you just have the simple lock problem that I did, and you can live with the door not locking for a week for the shipping time, I'd recommend going with that. But if you're stuck and urgently need the car and the door physically won't close like I had on the front one, unlike the back one, which is just the central locking actuator sort of thing, yeah, you're kind of at the mercy of a wrecking yard or someone on Facebook marketplace wrecking one. They're very common. There's plenty of them around. 100 bucks for all 4 I think is a reasonable price. $80 for a pair seemed to be a bit steep. I was willing to pay that because I just had to get it. But thankfully another guy messaged me just as I left. So I was like, yep, no worries, I'll take it. Anyway, that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you enjoyed the Falcon again. There's one guy who keeps pestering me to put another Falcon video up, so there you go. That's that one. Next one will be programming a new key fob for the Falcon. It's not the next video I'm going to do, but this will be the next one on the Falcon, because I've got to program a new key fob because I can't find mine. So yeah, that's a thing. So yeah, enjoy your Australia. Well, it's Australia weekend now, but by the time you see this, it'll be the following week. So I hope you enjoyed your Australia Day long weekend last weekend. Next video I'm actually going to do is I am actually going to install the lowering springs on the Corolla. That's why I did this, so I had a functioning car. On the very, very slim chance that I did something wrong and messed that up, I'd rather do this back here and have the Falcon where I can drive it out so I can still go to work. But also ideally it works fine and my son takes that car from sort of this week onwards, and I'll have the Falcon for myself. Anyway, that's it for today. Again, I'm just jabbering on and repeating myself like a bloody idiot. See ya.